Hey, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever it is, wherever you are, whenever you are. It's me, Mr. Bennett, and I'm inviting you to partake in this end of year tradition that I have established. So, usually, and I will be doing this in person as well for those kids that I do have in class, at the end of every year, I read Oh, the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss to my students, and I bring the book and I have everybody sign it. And for the last couple of years, due to the ongoing pandemic, I haven't had the opportunity to do that. Last year, I didn't have it at all. This year, I have a smaller number of students in class um, compared to previous years. And so I'm continuing this tradition of doing it both in person and digitally here in this video format. And so before I jump in and read this story and invite you to leave a comment, um, I want to give you the background for why I do this because I'm not the only teacher that I know of that does this or has done this. I actually got the idea for reading this story and doing this whole process at the end of the year from my eighth grade biology teacher at Caffey Middle School, a gentleman by the name of Mr. Sprague. He was awesome. He was my favorite teacher that year and one of the most amazing teachers I've had the pleasure of knowing. Mr. Sprague was this awesome science teacher who was an Ironman triathlete, and he had the biggest bright red handlebar mustache and was just a genuinely kind person who really made his students feel valued. And I also learned a lot from him that year. And he's one of the many reasons why I chose to become a teacher. And so at the end of the year, he sat us down and he brought in a copy of this book and he read it to us and he cried like a big old baby. And it was really kind of this enlightening experience to see a grown man and this kind of an authority figure, somebody we all looked up to, really share himself with the students and wish us well and kind of urge us on our way. And even though we were just in eighth grade, it was something I really appreciated. And so for the last 5 years, this is something that I've done for my students. And if you're one of my students that I've had in the past, you know this. You've seen me do this. I've done this in class, and maybe it's an annoyance, but it's really important for me. And so again, I'm going to read this story. I invite you to leave a comment on it, whatever you wish, or to not leave a comment. But this is something that I intend to do for always and eternity, right? So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this. So it's Oh, the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss. And this is for the class of 2020, 2021, right? This year, this wild, weird pandemic year. Congratulations. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You've got brains in your head. You have shoes on your feet. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own and you know what you know, and you are the guy who'll decide where to go. You'll look up and down streets, look them over with care. About some, you will say, I don't choose to go there. And with your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down any not so good street. And you may not find any you'll want to go down. In that case, of course, you'll head right out of town. And it's opener there in the wide open air. Out there, things can happen, and frequently do, to people as brainy and footsy as you. And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew, just go right along. You'll start happening too. Oh, the places you'll go. You'll be on your way up. You'll be seeing great sights. You'll join the high flyers who soar to high heights. And you won't lag behind because you'll have the speed. You'll pass the whole gang and you'll soon take the lead. And wherever you fly, you'll be the best of the best. And wherever you go, you will top all the rest. Except when you don't. Because sometimes you won't. And I'm sorry to say so, but sadly it's true that bang ups and hang ups can happen to you. And you can get all hung up in a prickly perch and your gang will fly on. You'll be left in a lurch. You'll come down from the lurch with an unpleasant bump. And the chances are then that you'll be in a slump. And when you're in a slump, you're not in for much fun. Unslumping yourself is not easily done. You'll come to a place where the streets are not marked and some windows are lighted, but mostly they're darked. A place you could sprain both your elbow and chin. Do you dare to stay out? Do you dare to go in? How much can you lose? How much can you win? And if you go in, should you turn left or right and three quarters, or maybe not quite, or go around back and sneak in from behind? Simple it's not, I'm afraid you will find, for a mind maker upper to make up their mind. And you can get so confused that you'll start into race down long, wiggled roads at a breaknecking pace and grind on 4 miles across weirdest wild space, headed, I fear, toward a most useless place, the waiting place. For people just waiting. Waiting for a train to go, or a bus to come, or a plane to go, or the mail to come, or the rain to go, or the phone to ring, or the snow to snow, or waiting around for a yes or a no, or waiting for their hair to grow. Everyone's just waiting. Waiting for the fish to bite, or waiting for the wind to fly a kite, waiting around for a Friday night, or waiting perhaps for their Uncle Jack, or a pot to boil, or a better break, or a string of pearls, or a pair of pants, or a wig with curls, or another chance. Everyone is just waiting. No, that's not for you. Somehow you'll escape all that waiting and staying, and you'll find the bright places where boom bands are playing. With banner flip flapping once more, you'll ride high, ready for anything under the sky. Ready because you're that kind of guy. Oh, the places you'll go. There's fun to be done. There are points to be scored. There are games to be won. And the magical things you can do with that ball will make you the winningest winner of all. Fame? You'll be as famous can be, with the whole wide world watching you win on TV. Except when they don't, because sometimes they won't. And I'm afraid that sometimes you'll play lonely games too. Games you can't win because you'll play against you, all alone. Whether you like it or not, alone will be something you'll be quite a lot. And when you're alone, there's a very good chance you'll meet things that scare you right out of your pants. There's some down the road between hither and yon that can scare you so much you won't want to go on. But on you will go. Though the weather be foul, on you will go, though your enemies howl, on you will go, though the hack and cracks howl, onward up many a frightening creek, though your arms may get sore and your sneakers may leak. On and on you will hike, and I know you'll hike far and face up to your problems, whatever they are. And you'll get mixed up, of course, as you may already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with great care and great tact. And remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot with your left. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98 and 3/4% guaranteed. Kid, you will move mountains. So, be your name Bucksbaum or Bixby or Bray or Mordecai Alley Van Allen O'Shea, you're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting. So get on your way. So for my students this year, thank you for coming on this journey with me. It wasn't always easy. It wasn't always fun. I hope you learned a lot. I hope that you came out of this a better person despite all of the challenges. For those of you students who are graduating this year, if you're watching this as a senior, especially if you're one of my former students, you've done this. You've survived this historic, zany pandemic for a year and a half. You've done something no one else has ever done. You're stronger than you know. Go. Do anything. Do something. Make history. I believe in you, and I can't wait to see what you all accomplish. Have a wonderful year and a wonderful life.